your girl, Ms. D, and I'm here with Lady T, LaFinesse Queen. And we got our girl, Annanake, AmunRa, out of Cali, here with us this evening. And this is BInfluenced Live, coming to you from Lithonia, Georgia. And we are here today, and we are Lithonia, Georgia. And we are going to be talking to you guys tonight about music, mood, and mayhem. Does music really affect our mood? Does it affect our thinking? How is it affecting our society and our world today? And that's what we'll be talking about. Annanake, AmunRa.
Yes.
How are you, darling?
I'm doing all right today.
You doing
What's
all
going
right
on with
today?
everybody?
That is good to hear. That is good to hear. How is sunny California?
It's nice and sunny out here. The weather's really great.
Oh, it
I'd
is?
love to share it with you.
Yeah, we're finally getting hot here. It's like been like 85.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 85 degrees, sun shining, you know, warming up. So getting that melanin, that energy together. So yeah, we're getting it together. But before we start our topic, I want to talk about, did you hear what Facebook is doing these days?
I did not.
Facebook is banning our leaders and speakers, those that speak against what is considered the norm, or those that do not speak what they want society to hear. And one of those people that Facebook is banning is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, wow. I just found the article. So it says, Facebook bans Louis Farrakhan, Milo Yiannopoulos, InfoWars, and others from his platform as dangerous.
As dangerous.
As dangerous. Okay, hold on. Let me share this. Okay. It says, Facebook announced Thursday afternoon that it had designed some high-profile people, including Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, who's notorious for using anti-Semitic language. The right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones as dangerous and said it will be purging them from its platform. Jones and his media outlet InfoWars had previously been banned from Facebook in August 2018, but had maintained a presence on Facebook, which is owned on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. On Thursday, Jones and InfoWars will be banned from Instagram as well. So I don't exactly, I'm not too knowledgeable about InfoWars, but so it says other people banned Thursday include fringe right-wing media personalities Laura Loomer, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Paul Joseph Watson. Also included are Paul Newland, an anti-Semite who unsuccessfully ran for Congress in 2016 and 2018. We've also banned individuals or organizations that promote or engage in violence and hate regardless of ideology, a Facebook spokesperson said in a statement provided to CNN Business. The process for evaluating potential violators is extensive, and it is what led us to our decision to remove these accounts today. A Facebook spokesperson told CNN Business the company goes through a lengthy process and takes into consideration a number of factors before determining an individual to be dangerous. The Facebook spokesperson said such factors include whether the person or organization has ever called for violence against individuals based on race, ethnicity, or national origin, whether the person has been identified with a hateful ideology, whether they use hate speech or slurs in their About section on their social media profiles, and whether they have had pages or groups removed from Facebook for violating hate speech rules. In some instances, when Facebook bans an individual or organization, it also restricts others from expressing praise or support for them on its platform, the spokesperson said, adding that the company continues to view such actions as the correct approach. That policy may not apply to any or all people banned Thursday, however. The spokesperson added that Facebook will remove groups, pages, and accounts created to represent the banned individuals when it knows the individual is participating in the effort. So if you share Farrakhan stuff, you might get banned from Facebook.
I was gonna say, so if y'all watch it tonight, y'all better watch, because this might be the one and only time that you can see this, because they may ban us.
They may ban us
for speaking his name. But that's what they do to our leaders, right? We're in a new day and time.
I also did see, not to divide our community, because I hate when our community is divided, and what Farrakhan speaks from. I have seen him speak personally when I went to, it was the new Million Man March, the one they just had, I think, I want to say 2010, no, not 2014, 15, 2015 maybe.
Yeah.
And I listened to him speak for the first time. I saw him in person, and he was moving. He did inspire me. I did feel like a new sense of like urge to be there for my community and have more pride in myself and my community. So he is a great speaker. I will say, there's this account on Facebook. I follow certain accounts on, not Facebook, I follow certain accounts on Facebook and Instagram. But this particular account that I follow on Instagram is 17 Soldier 6. His page has been deleted a couple times because he always is putting out truth to different conspiracies. So he shared actually a couple videos just this week that I just watched where Farrakhan is admitting to the nation's responsibility in the killing of Malcolm X. And he's also standing by the nation in the segments that I've watched. And to me, I was kind of taken back. And I was kind of hurt by listening to that. Like, this is somebody that is our leader. Actually, and you know what?
But see, where we're at, we're in a new day and time. Social media is where we are. That's where our voices are. That's where we're heard. That's where most people, especially the younger generation and the generation coming behind us, gets their information. So if you want to void them of that information, you ban our leaders, you ban our speakers, you ban those that go against the norm. Now, Annanake knows more the background of Alex Jones, and she can kind of give us some background on that. But first, let's tell us about this video.
Okay, so this is a video.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area.
These are just different clips.
His family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this is the origin of Kiki hair. Because we didn't have Kiki hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrow. The hair on your eyebrow is straight. The hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow is straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you're so busy frying it.
But you know, I've seen Farrakhan speak multiple times.
And that wasn't even the one. This is the one.
God has made me a better man for you than Malcolm X. I'm standing where Malcolm would have stood if he had the character to stand there. And frankly, it ain't none of your business.
Hear my mic.
What have you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Put Malcolm on a tree or on the island? And if we dealt with it like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours?
I think that's an old video. I don't think that's a newer video. But I've heard him speak, and even though I was not part of the NOI, for our people as a whole, he's a powerful speaker. You know, and if we just follow a lot of what he preaches in general, that doesn't have anything to do with the religion, but that has to do with us as a people, we would really be a lot further than what we are. And that's why society and Facebook and, you know, social media and government,
like
that's why
like,
they're afraid of him.
Yeah, they are. And I don't know the ins and outs of him as a person, but I do know from what I've heard him say. Those clips were kind of hurtful to listen to, but knowing that from different leaders, you take some and you leave some.
Exactly.
Just like with Dr. Umar, a lot of us still wondering where's Dr. Umar's school. But the things that he say, the things that he talk about as far as our community, he has a lot of power in what he's saying. It has a lot of truth behind it, and it can direct us in the right way. But you take some and you leave some.
I say it's like I've always, because I've studied so many cultures and so many different religions. It's like sifted flour. You take what's good for you and you throw out what's not, and you move on. But Annanake, if you could give us just a brief background on Alex Jones and why he's being banned.
Okay, as you know, Alex Jones is not a black man, but he is intricately tied into Donald Trump. And because he interviewed Donald Trump before he was elected and has had him on the show several times, he got tied into Donald Trump's whole conspiracy theory, the Russians and all that. But Donald Trump is known, Alex Jones is known for exposing conspiracies within the government that frequently at times has something to do with the black people. And so people, they brush it to the side or whatever, but he exposes them, and then they show up later on as true. Or they show up later on as, you know, it's not even just the racial aspect of it, it's the economic aspect of it. So he was banned before. They're cutting him out in all different types of places because they want to silence him. Just like anybody who wants to give power to the people, to be individual, they want to silence them. So this is what's going on with Alex Jones. I don't agree with 100% of what he says, but then you shouldn't agree 100% with anybody, you know, per your own thoughts. But I would say if you can, while he's out there, check him out before he's not out there, because they're chopping him off in pieces and parts. And I would say a good 95% of his conspiracies that he talks about, they come into play.
Wow.
They come into play.
I've noticed a lot of pages that I follow have gone missing on Instagram. And I just noticed because 17 Soldier, I see him on like my Explore page. And I was like, wait a minute, don't I follow him? Like I went to the page and I realized it was his backup page. And I tried to go to his original page and it wasn't there anymore. I was like, wow, like that's just crazy. A lot of people like Shaka Shakur, I don't know, have y'all heard of him on Facebook? He's on Facebook.
I've heard of him, yes.
He's starting to get on different platforms because he says Facebook sometimes is attacked. Sometimes he can't upload videos or he can't go live. And
well, see, this is why we have to create our own. This is exactly why we have to create our own, where we manage and we are able to upload and discuss what we want to discuss that benefits us. Let's move away from Facebook. Let's create our own platform, our own social media platform where we can discuss what we want to discuss.
Why haven't we been back to Black Planet? I heard that, I don't know if this is rumor or if this is true, that Solange purchased Black Planet.
I have no idea, but we'll have to look into that.
Let me look into that, because if that's the case, then we all need to go to Black Planet.
Right. I know. I was never big on Black Planet because to me, Black Planet was a dating site. And it was just full of a bunch of stuff that just wasn't of interest to me at that time. But we definitely need our own social media platform. That way, we can open it up to whoever wants to speak whatever they want to speak, because now you're dealing with our freedom of speech.
There's a Black Instagram too but I forgot what it's called, and I went to go download it, but it cost like some money, so I just didn't go on it. But
and that's a challenge for us. That most of the things like that cost money. It is a Black paint press that actually is on our BInfluenced Live Instagram page that I promoted some time ago. That we could all support, but it's like the Black paint press. What's it? Pinterest. It's the Black Pinterest, and I can't recall the name right now. But if you go to our BInfluenced Live Instagram page and you just scroll, you'll see it on there. And I would suggest that everybody follow them and download their app and follow their website, because we do. But we definitely need our own platform.
She didn't purchase it.
She did not purchase it.
I just read an article. So Solange should not purchase Black Planet. She just called Black people to Black Planet because she was launching something on her page. She was launching her page or something. So maybe it was like some type of partnership that she had.
I say they take Tidal a step further. Well, actually, Jay-Z sold a large part of his stock in Tidal.
Just like he stole a large part of the Barclays Center. So that's something that Shaka Shakur. Okay, we could go. This could go on.
Yeah, this is another topic.
This is another topic. Let me say, Shaka Shakur just released some stuff on his page too the other day that I was reading too, where it was like he was like because he posted so many of y'all quoting Jay-Z lyrics, but did you know he gentrified his own hood and then sold it back to the Russians? So then he started to release so many facts. He was like, all right, y'all don't believe me. I'm gonna just release the facts. Fact pictures and documents dated back to 2015 when he signed off so much of the Barclay to the Russians. And so then it went into a whole nother spiel when he started connecting that to the Russians that were involved in the election. Yeah.
That's a whole other, because I'm already thinking about what I want to say, and that would take us completely out of our topic. But we're going to be coming up soon with talking about education, and then we can really discuss what's going on with Umar and how everybody feels about that. Because we're actually going to have one of the principals from one of the schools that I'm affiliated with. He's going to be visiting us soon. As soon as we get everything perfected here, he'll be visiting us, and we'll talk more about education and our youth. And that'll probably be a series that we do for a few weeks, like we were doing with the wellness. And I really wanted to do wellness again today, but I wanted to give you all a break and kind of bring that back when we actually all start the detox. And you kind of missed that, and we talked in the car, but I forgot about that. So we're all going to do this detox. Annanake, Lady Precious, myself, and I'm sure you'll want to be a part of it, but we're going to do this like full detox from mind, body, and spirit, everything that we've been talking to our audience about. We're going to get together and we're going to do one, and we're just going to let our audience follow us.
Create a sister circle.
Create a sister circle. And one of the things I was thinking, Annanake, is that I'm the research queen when it comes to pretty much everything, but especially when it comes to holistic. The detox is going to be generalized, but it's also going to be individual based. So what I may be detoxing may not be what you're detoxing. So I'll be gathering information from each one of you to see, especially when it comes to the herbs and the supplements, what may be best for you. Because you got to think, I'm at an age where I'm menopausal. So there are certain things I need to supplement that you do not need to supplement. And there's certain things that I need to detox that Annanake doesn't need to detox because, again, I'm a smoker and she's not. So, Annanake, are you with us with that?
Yes.
There she is. Yeah, so we'll get around to that. I wish we had started this discussion a little earlier in the winter so that we could have did it with the spring,
right,
and then really come alive in the summer. But we probably won't be starting it till sometime in June so that, we're all on the same page and that we do what's most effective.
From the end of spring and spring right in the summer.
Spring right in the summer, right. We can spring right in the summer. But let's get into our topic, music, mood, and mayhem. Okay, so music, mood, and mayhem. And I'm still hopeful that at some point I will sit on a panel with some producers and rappers and, those that say music doesn't affect our mindset. Music doesn't make us do things that we would not normally do. And some years ago, Russell Simmons used to have this annual event, and he would have a panel, of those in the industry. In this one particular year, he had his annual event, and they had those that had been in the prison system, and they were talking about how rap music affects society or affects thinking. And, they had these former inmates on there that were saying, no, the music didn't affect anything that I did. I did what I did because that's what I wanted to do. Rap music didn't have anything to do with my mindset. My argument has always been, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it does. Because you can, and I want to hold that off. It does, and I'm going to tell you why it does. But before we do that, Annanake, we get ready to go into a new moon. Do you have anything for us?
Actually, yes, I do. Going into the new moon, I'm going to say that the detoxing that you're talking about, I think it's key. I think that people need to be detoxing, not just biologically, but mentally, physically, and socially. I think people are already starting to feel that need to tighten up their sister circle or their friend circle and get rid of people that are toxic. I think that this moon shift right here is big toxic removal. People are starting to just wander away from other people's lives and stuff. And I really think that the moon is telling people this, and the people are responding in earnest. I'm sure right now people are wondering, where'd that person go? But they knew that person wasn't any good, but they just want to know why they're not there. So if you are getting that energy and that vibe from this new moon shift coming in, don't be shocked. You're not alone. We're purging and we're redefining our lives by what's best for our higher source self. So work with the moon, and the moon is definitely going to be working with you.
I've been through a number of moons, and I don't know if I have anybody left to purge. I really don't, Lady T. I mean, I have purged so many people since. When did it? I can't even say when it started. It started around the winter, fall, winter. We talking harvest. A lot of bad roots had to go. A lot of my roots were just being uprooted and tossed out. Because it was going to produce rotten fruit. And they had to go. So I don't really think I have anyone left to purge, because I think the universe kind of placed and left everybody that needs to be in my circle there. But you never know. Though, you may have someone, and maybe a couple more that's out there that I need to get rid of.
Well, there's also the spiritual purge, the mental purge, and the emotional purge. Well, the emotional purge, that's that shadow work. Man, a lot of people are going through that emotional purge, where they feeling some kind of way about something, or they've been feeling too much about somebody that they shouldn't be feeling about. That right there is really the purge. When you purge yourself, what you're doing is you're clarifying yourself to your higher source self, to where all the extra straggly stuff that you keep around because you don't know why, but it just works with you and it shouldn't be there. When you start shedding that away emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, you start coming to find out that the real you don't put up with a lot of crap.
I figured about that.
So how do you stay up to date with these moves? How do you ladies stay up to date with these moves?
Okay. Generally what you do is you buy a calendar. You buy a calendar and you keep up with these moons. You have a new moon and you have a full moon every month. Sometimes you have two full moons. Each moon is based in a zodiac sign. Whatever the new moon is, the full moon is the opposite of it, opposite sign of it. And per your birthday, the day you were born, that is when you have major events that happen every month, major changes. You know how people always talk about your baby is 33 months old. Just say how old your baby is, but actually every month as a person we grow and change on our birthday. So based on the month and the zodiac sign that the moon is in and the zodiac sign that the sun is in the day that you were born, those things kind of work with you. And if you kind of pay attention to it on a calendar, there are some calendars that you can just purchase from the regular store. I use an LaFinesse, which is a book with a whole bunch of complicated numbers. It just looks like a book full of numbers. And when I first saw it the first time, I just closed it back and put it down like it was the phone book. But that's how you do it. But for those of us in the new world, what we do is we go on the internet and we look at these apps. And there are apps that will tell you when the moon is full, when the moon is new, and you can tag it to your phone. It'll be right there on your phone, and it'll show you on the front face of it.
Yeah, I have an app that I use, and I will actually have to I'll have to post the name of it because I don't know the name of it.
Is it this one? This one, my cousin just told me to download, but I downloaded it. I haven't really used it. It's called CoStar?
No, it's not called CoStar. It goes with, when you pull up the app that I'm on, it's a picture of the moon. So it goes second by second by second by second, day by day, hour by hour, month by month. So you know it every
Right.
moment.
The only reason why I'm not saying a specific app for it is because I'm not quite sure if our people have an app up and running. I know that many of our people have apps up and running, but if anyone does know of one that is for us, by us, please let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I do it the old-fashioned way. I get the book and the pen and the big heavy glasses, and I highlight with the candle lit next to me. You know, the old-fashioned way. But yeah, it's people say that you're not born with the manual, and that's not true. You really are born with the manual. Yeah, your actual astrology chart is your manual, and if you ever get a hold to someone who can lay it out for you appropriately, yeah, you'd see a whole lot of future. It's a whole bunch of math, and it's a whole bunch of accurate too.
Yeah, I only look at 3 things now that I kind of figured that out, so I don't have to call you and bug you all the time, even though I do call and bug you all the time. And that's my Venus, my moon, and my rising, and that is it. So, you know, I'll check my Venus to see, you know, what foolishness is going to approach me. And how I need to deal with the foolishness that's about to approach me, you know, and
right.
And then my rising.
Well, you know, there are many people who do not believe in astrology or star signs, but I'm going to say this right here: you wouldn't get your crops if you didn't follow those star signs. You wouldn't have your animals reproducing. You wouldn't know when to take care of that, your livestock, if you didn't follow our signs.
Right, because people don't realize that's what our ancestors followed. They followed our system,
you wouldn't be able to make your way across the country, you know, if you didn't use some kind of, if star charts wasn't put together. So before, you know, people need to understand that it's a map.
But for me,
it's a map.
It's like, how could you not believe that the stars and the moon affects you when you know, when you go sit in front of a body of water, that affects you. When you go sit in nature, that affects you. That affects your mood. Depending if it's raining or if it's sunny outside, that can affect your mood. So if you know that these things like stones and stuff like that, depending on where they were created and what type of stone they are, that can affect you. Like if you know these things that come from the earth affect you, why wouldn't you believe these? That's still pieces of our universe.
Exactly.
So it's like, of course it'll affect us and the person that we are.
My nephew and I was sitting on my deck before we came here, and he was like, Auntie, I just love coming over your house because, and coming on a deck, because we could just sit on my deck in silence because there's nothing but trees. And he was like, it's just so, he's like, the trees are so tall and they're so green. And he said, it's just so relaxing just coming out here on your deck, and it's so quiet and peaceful. And then we laughed, and he said, I don't know why people in Atlanta say that College Park is the hood. He said, because it's quiet out here, at least where I live. He said it's quiet, it's green, it's just peaceful, you know. And I'm like, I could sit here all night, except the fact that the bugs start coming and biting on my ankles. But I would probably fall asleep on my deck because it's just relaxing. Now, pretty much every house that I've had, I've been in a wooded area, but it's a very peaceful, quiet atmosphere when you're in nature. So to piggyback off of what Lady T just said, how these things affect our mood. Now let's go back to music. Music, mood, and mayhem. And how music affects our mood, our thinking, our actions, our reactions, and society on a whole. So again, these inmates that were on this panel with Russell Simmons, you know, were saying that at the time they were talking about hip hop. That was the topic, hip hop, you know, affecting people's actions. And, you know, at the time when you had West Coast rap and all the violence that they were speaking of and that, and how it changed, and did it affect these inmates thinking? If you hear somebody rapping about, you know, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, do you want to go shoot 'em up, bang, bang? They're like, no, it doesn't affect me. But I say this, Lady T, your dude's coming over, and you need to set the mood.
Okay, some soft, sensual vibes. I'm not going to play, like, you know, we're not going to. So different moods affect you based on your environment, what you're attracting, where you're going. Like if you go to the club, you might play some stuff that'll turn you up, turn your vibe up. You might hit the Afro beat. Or if you're working out, you might, you know, you're not playing the soft, sensual music, the jazz music while you're working out. So of course, music affects your mood. I think it's a thing of brainwashing. Like people are brainwashed, or they are so afraid to say that they are influenced by something because they want to be their own person so bad. Like I had to ask that. I used to tell him the music he was listening to was affecting him. Like you don't think it's like you listen to the Future all the time. And he always talking about how he want to be with a light skinned, you know, Hispanic girl. You don't think that affects the, you know, the type of woman that you're attracted to? And he like, no, because he want to be in his head like me, watching him from the outside in. He was the type of person, that's why we didn't work out. He wasn't, and I don't want to say woke, but essentially that's what it is. Like it's one thing to be aware of the things that are affecting you, but then it's another thing to be unaware and think that it's really not affecting you at all. No, this is not affecting me. I'm my own person. I think how I want to think. But at the end of the day, you think jewelry is important. And you think, you know, flashing your money is important. That's because of this music that you're listening to that's not grounding you at all. It's not keeping you grounded.
Exactly. And we listen to music more than we actually watch television. So you have music in your car, you have headphones, you have music on your phone, you have music everywhere. So Annanake, now I'm gonna move to you. We spoke about and let me tell audience, we spoke about children in school, the scholars. And these scholars, you know, they're diagnosed with all these different ailments and issues. But I was speaking specifically to Annanake because we were preparing for testing, and I have these scholars that they tap. They get their pencils and they start tapping. They just tap all the time. And Annanake, what did you tell me they needed?
They needed music. They needed a specific type of low fidelity music. Low fidelity music is, okay, you know, you got lo-fi, you got hi-fi, you got Wi-Fi. But low fidelity music is very good for relaxing the brain. When you see somebody that's constantly tapping, constantly moving, constantly, that means there's something in their mind that is not settled. They can't sit still. And to be honest with you, anybody born after 1970 has a problem with sitting still. They want to move, they got something to do, even if they're just sitting there tapping. What happens is that low fidelity music, you have a set of brain waves, alpha, beta, delta, theta. And I'm not talking about the sororities and the fraternities. I'm talking about your brain waves. Have you ever driven down the street and then there's a section where you don't know how you got from point A to point B? It's like you zone out, but you got there. Mm-hmm. Well, when you're in, it happens all the time to us. It's part of a meditative state. When you drop down in your brainwaves into those meditative states, you learn faster. You're able to retain information better. You're able to associate memory with long-term memory easy. Short-term memory becomes long-term memory faster. So what happens is when students study with a baseline or low fidelity music, long-term, it's able to help them to calm down, get the work done, remember the work, and be able to regurgitate what they know. It's not in their subconscious, it's in their upper level consciousness where they can pull it out as well as remember it later on. To give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, most music has a bass line to it that is hypnotic. So have you ever seen somebody walking down the street, some guy, he got a hoodie on, he rolling down the street, he walking for real, and all of a sudden he get to the corner, he jumps out with his phone and he starts rapping like he's on stage? And I mean, you can't tell him nothing. He doing it, and then just as soon as he did it, he stops and keeps walking. It's because listening to the music and what the words of the music are saying to him, because low fidelity music usually doesn't have words to it when you're studying. But if you put words into it, it ingrains it into their brain, and that's what he thinks he is. Yeah. So at some moment when he was on that corner, he thought he was Tupac. Yeah. He thought he was Jesus. He thought he was somebody. And it just clicked into his brain. He jumped out, started rapping, kicking, and woo, 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 woo. And then just as soon as it came and went, he went on about his business, and everybody was like, what the world was that? That, my dear, is what music does to a person. You listen to a song over and over every day, 10 times a day, on the radio, in your car, in the house, and they keep doing it repetitive. Eventually, you're going to think you're that person, or you're going to think that that's what you're supposed to do. It's called programming.
It is programming, and it's subliminal programming. And when
it's very subliminal. It's very powerful.
Yes, and two of the things you just said. First, let me say about the young man jumps out the car, he starts rapping, and he thinks he's Tupac. My nephew, he's 31, and he's coming into that place of growth right now. Yes, he's been a grown man for some time now, but now he's coming to a place of growth. And I remember one day he came over my house, and he was catching the train because his car was there to work. And he said, oh my gosh, Auntie, I'm on the train. And he said, I was just watching the people on the train. And he said it was these young boys that must have been on their way to school, and they had their headphones on. He said, I'm sitting in the back. And he said, they really looked like they were losing their mind. He said they was all sitting there like, he said, I'm watching them from the back. And he said, Auntie, they look like they was really losing their mind.
That's like some music make me drive faster. I remember at one point it was Rihanna. What's that Rihanna song? I cannot think of that Rihanna song that it was. But I was in college, so it probably came out like 2010, 2011. Whatever song it was, I know I put that Rihanna song on, and I used to be hitting and I didn't even realize. You look at the dash, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going 80, 90.
I listened to when I would drive home, I listened to certain music to drive home. I had to listen to hip hop to drive home. And once I got to a certain point, I had to put on, so once I hit DC, Baltimore, I had to find a station that was playing house music. Because once I heard that house music, I'm like, yeah, it's on now. I'm on my way home. Like, yeah, I'm on my way home right now. I hear that. And that's what you do. Like, if you go into a party, I have my moments like when you cleaning the house. Get up in the morning, I got some Mary J or whatever on. And then I get to a certain point, like, I got to get through this. I need to turn on some house music so I can get this started.
Yeah.
So,
Yolanda just asked, she said, will Bob Marley music be considered low fidelity because my kids have to have that when playing and studying?
So that's Lady Precious. Lady Precious is on with us. And Annanake, did you hear her question?
No, could you repeat it, please?
Will Bob Marley music be considered low fidelity? She said because kids have to listen to that while they're studying.
The object of low fidelity music for studying means no words, only music. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's a song that has a positive message, that's fine. But you keep it low and you keep it slow. Low fidelity music is really good. And if if it's Bob Marley, yeah, you can best bet. I don't think Bob Marley gonna tell you turn it up. So I think that Bob Marley is a good go. I think sometimes jazz is a good go too, if you can get somebody to mix it up together. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you about this. Did you notice that sometime during the turn of the millennium we had a pickup of strippers?
Yes.
Did the music tell everybody to strip and take their clothes off?
And it did.
Did the music, I mean, don't get me wrong, because I'm going to let you know, I'm old. I can go all the way back to Salt and Pepper, and Salt and Pepper had everybody thinking it's their thing. Do what you want to do.
But I will say
I mean, the hairdo, the whole cross colors, all that. Music led us into it, and we enjoyed it. There. So now what did music tell us to do? Music told us to take off our clothes and get on the pole and get this money. Don't get me wrong. I'll be the first person to talk about Cardi B out there making her dollars, but do you really want to make all your dollars like that?
And there's a lot of rappers who glorify that now. Like, rappers are glorifying the strippers, and they're marrying the strippers and glorifying strippers. And not just, But it's more music, it's more prominent now, so more girls are thinking it's okay, I'm just getting my money. So it is, the music is affecting it.
What happened at the turn of the century, they wasn't saying actually get on the pole. What was happening at the turn of the century, you had Luke telling you to pop it, right? And you had Little Kim telling you to get your money and use what you got. Then we transitioned into the strippers and the music of the strippers on the pole. But at the turn of the century, we had Luke, we had the Florida music come in, we telling you to pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it. And then Little Kim came in and told you, get that money, okay? You can do whatever, yo. Yeah, Little Kim came in and told you how to get that money.
Tonight.
You know, so, and then we went into the stripper, and now it's a whole different thing. But then you think about,
now it's more of a like entrepreneur. People looking at like, oh, she an entrepreneur, she a dancer. Like it's a dancer, it's not a stripper, and it's, you know. So
we're gonna talk about that one day too, and I'm gonna have my nephew on because he's actually.
Well, I'm gonna say something. Whenever you talk to anybody who listens to a specific type of music, and you know the music is detrimental, everybody does, but they'll defend the music going down with the ship, because in defending the music, they're defending their taste, their lifestyle, and how they feel. So they're not defending the music, they're defending themselves. So you keep that in mind when you're telling somebody that the music they're listening to might be influencing them. That's the first thing. Second of all, we all know that if you think about something long enough, it comes into play.
Exactly. Because you know what? When we say words have power, right?
Yep.
When we say words have power, and we are constantly rapping these same songs or singing these same songs or whatever, that is what your reality becomes.
And then you're chanting. When you're saying these same songs, you're saying certain words and lyrics over and over. So then it becomes a chant. And so when you're chanting anything, if anybody knows, like when you chant anything and it becomes, it manifests. So, you know, certain things, certain music, that's why I always tell people, be conscious about what you allow into your spirit. Stuff like that can manifest.
Like my son is one. Me and him would debate back and forth. Why do you listen to this? Because what they talking about is real, man. They talking about their life. They talking about what's real. Okay, but you want to move away from that reality. Okay, you get so hyped on it, and you know you talking about somebody F the world. I don't give a F about niggas. Ain't nobody loyal. You know, I done spent time and that's the only thing you're reliving. That's the only reality that you have. Like, move away from that reality and that existence and move into something else. Like, that's not everybody's life. And that is not what life actually is. There are other things in life. Like, this is not the only reality. Find another reality. But he feeds off of that music because to him, this is what life is really like. You don't really see what it's really like. No, I do see another part of existence of life, of what it's really like. You're stuck in this moment, and this music is keeping you in that place.
It makes me think about when I was younger, and you ride with your parents, or you ride with your grandparents or something, your aunties or your uncle, and they listen to the oldies but goodies. They not listen to, and then when you start to be like, no, turn it to the rap station. They're like, I don't want to hear all that racket, all that hoopla. And so it's funny because it's like now that I am older, and I've come more into, I'm more aware of what's happening around me. When you're a child, you're not completely aware, especially if somebody isn't enlightening you. You're not completely aware of what it is that you're being fed. But when you become aware of these things, and that comes with wisdom, that comes with just growing, that comes with age, sometimes in time, and then you realize you don't want to hear, just like how your aunties and your uncles and grandparents didn't want to hear all that hoopla. You don't want to hear, like I found myself listening to 91.9, which is one of my favorite channels. It's probably actually the only station because the battery just died in the car, so you know all the stations go away. And 91.9 is the only station that's programmed in that truck that my brother drives, and him too. And I'm glad that I have enlightened him. He knows what he still listens to different, you know, because I'm not saying all rappers are. Because there's some talented artists who use rap, you know, as their art form. And so he listens to a lot of talented music. And I'm glad that I was able to kind of inspire that. And he listens to a lot of, like Masego. Masego is one of my favorites now, too. And he's a musician who plays the piano, the saxophone, the violin. Like, he's talented. And so I find myself listening to stuff like that. Like, I want to hear rhythms. I want to hear beats. I don't want to hear somebody else's thoughts all the time, because I don't want to manifest your thoughts, and I don't want to speak your thoughts over a beat. Like, I want to, if I'm going to chant something, I want it to be my own rhythm. I want to feel the rhythm and be able to chant my own, you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting now, like, being older and just realizing that music is so powerful.
Music is powerful because it's energy. And that energy vibrates into us, into our brain waves. Have we forgotten that it's called brain waves?
Brain waves, radio waves, air waves.
Brain waves. It's always been called brain waves. Brain waves are sent through our body. Brain signals have sent through our body. Brain waves go from our brain to our nervous system, to our organs, to our bloodstream. Brain waves. So if it's called brain waves, that means it flows. It's the energy, just like energy waves and anything else that flows. So when we're feeding these radio waves and this music that is energy to our brain waves, it's feeding into everything else. And it's also, ladies, feeding into your womb.
And then, okay, so something else that we haven't touched on tonight too is that music affecting moods. We also have to realize whatever it is that you spiritually resonate with. So if you believe in good and then you believe in evil, if you believe in God and you believe in scripture, in the scripture it says, and it tells us that, the devil was once, Satan was once an angel, or he was, he ruled waves, airwaves. And so that includes media, and that includes the airwaves, and that includes, different. So you have to realize that if this is something that you believe in, then you have to also believe that music will affect you spiritually, because that's something that you believe in. That's what you believe, that the devil once was an angel who had control over this. God gave him control over that. So of course he's going to try to affect you in that realm. So you have to always be aware of, and this is if you believe in that, because I know a lot of people believe in Christianity, but they don't believe. There's certain things that people plug and pull from different pieces, and they may use this, but they don't use this. But that's also.
And Annanake, take us there, because what happens in church when what is it called, the worship team? What is it called?
The praise team.
The praise team and the worship team gets going. They get stomping. They get singing. They start stomping and clapping and singing. And you got people.
Okay, first of all, this is what happens. You may notice that the Catholic Church and churches prior to slavery did not have drums. Drums is a bass line. It's hypnotic. So anything that has a very strong bass line is very hypnotic. It lulls your brain down into the next brain wave so that you can be subjected to whatever it is. So when people go to church and the choir is up there singing, and you got your percussionist going on, and you got, they train you to know automatically when that song comes on, it's time to empty your pockets. Most churches have the same scripture that they say over and over again, because you've been trained. When you hear that scripture, you are cursed with a curse or whatever it is, it's time to pay your tithes. People don't even realize in church that they're being programmed to do that. I have nothing wrong with it. I have nothing against church. But you have to realize that it's created that way for a reason. Why do you think there are so many super churches where the pastor got a jet? He ain't even got half of them don't even have a college degree, but they got a jet. How's that work out? So church, when they play the music, which is the same thing in traditional African religion, when you play those two drums, you can be ridden by the Spirit, because it opens up your mind to be receptive. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing people don't realize, why when you go to church, women cover their heads, because they're the first to get tipsy in the spirit if their head ain't covered. There's a lot of things going on in the world, but people don't understand. They just take for granted. When you hear that music, why do you think when a mother sings to her child and she's rocking her back and forward, or him back and forward, it lulls the child into sleep? in the 80s, the late 80s, and the late 90s, the late 70s, and the early 80s, there were several rock bands that experimented with frequencies of music.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't quite remember the name of it, but they changed their name several times, and it was really good because they were selling out records going and coming because the frequencies were hypnotic. It came out about the same time that they were complaining about the grocery stores and the music with the subliminal. And then there was the big heyday about people playing music backwards, and it was satanic.
Yeah, I remember that because my ex-husband was a DJ, so I remember some cuts coming out. And he
so
was like,
music is a benefit, it's a tool, but it's also a weapon in the wrong hands. There are frequencies and tones that can cause your brain to explode. There are frequencies and tones that can make your nose bleed. There are frequencies and tones that can make you just break down and start crying for no reason. They have sound weapons. The government can use sound weapons to make everybody pass out. So along that, they got sounds and tones that can heal you, slow your blood flow up, cause you to have a heart attack. So people cannot say in no terms that music don't affect the mind, because it does. Music is a tool. It can be used as a weapon, or it can be used as a benefit. But please, people, do not be ignorant and think that music is just some pretty words, because I caught myself one day. I got a song I love so much by Rick Ross, Every Day I'm Hustling. And then one day I realized that every day I was hustling. And I talked myself into it, and then the music helped me get there.
Well, I
go
have
ahead.
to say that when it's time for me to do certain things, especially if it has to do with money, me and Cardi going hard. We going hard because we about to get that money. And see, people forget that Cardi is Puerto Rican. Y'all have to pay attention to some of Cardi's pictures back in the day and some of the things that's surrounding her. Cardi comes from a background that prays to the saints or requests to the saints and the ancestors. And she know what she's doing when she's singing some of these songs. She getting her money because she's calling on her money. So I said, she calling on her money. Me and you, Cardi, we calling on this money too. So when some of those candles get lit, me and Cardi calling on that money together. Because she knows what she's speaking. So does Beyonce. She knows what she's speaking to. She ain't had that yellow on and had them twins for no reason at all. She was using them lyrics, and that was a ritual. Because if you pay attention, after she did Lemonade, and she was doing a whole lot of videos and a whole lot of songs with a whole lot of water, which is Yamea and Oshun, calling on that fertility. She gave birth to those twins. And it's more to that, depending on who you follow, what you read. It's more to that she did this with certain moons. She called on and spoke certain things. There were certain symbols in there for certain gods and stuff that fertilized her with those twins. Because naturally, and this is going beyond, and I'm not going to touch on this just a little bit, we have two breasts for a reason. Just like a dog, a bitch, has X amount of nipples. A cow. We have this because we were naturally created to give birth to twins. When you read your scriptures in the beginning, the women in the scriptures gave birth to twins. We were naturally designed to give birth to twins. We have the process to feed our twins, supply that need. And that's why we have two breasts to nurture our children. So there's a lot of symbolism and a lot of stuff that Beyonce did with that Lemonade video. And she sung those songs and she put that energy, that vibration, and the waves out there. She knew exactly what she was doing. Cardi knows what she's doing about her money. That's why, Cardi had like 3 cuts in a row that was all about money, 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 money. It was all about getting that money, getting that money, getting that money, getting that money. She knows what she knew she was doing with her career. So we have to understand that this music, this energy, these sound waves, this vibration, it all has a purpose. It's just not out there for us to do a 2-step.
I want to play a little bit of this interview because I saw this a little time ago, but this is XX Extension who passed away. And they say this is the interview. A lot of people were speculating that because he was talking about, he did an interview with DJ Academics about frequency and how it can program, how music frequencies program your mind. They saying this is the interview that cost him his life. And as we know, there's speculation that he was almost like we say, you know, a Tupac or a Nipsey who was speaking knowledge into our community, and then they took him away before, you know, we even got a chance to really experience them the way we wanted to fully. But we did experience them. But this is something from his interview.
Sometimes it's to help people find themselves, because music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? I will hope you, before they go put some negative throughout this conversation, well, this part of the conversation, and they see that I'm really, really actually helping people, bro. I'm not, let me be detailed. At 15 years old, I was doing sound engineering. So I was playing with frequency. I was playing with equalizers. Now, I figured out that hertz is to understand the frequency vibration, right? So there's kilohertz. Well, sorry, there's hertz, kilohertz, megahertz, right? And then there's, I think it's ultrahertz. If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind. Target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, like, if I want you to ask to project, right? You know what astral projection is? If I want you to ask to project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
Here, we saw it.
So that was from XXX Extension before he passed away, an interview that he did with DJ Academics. And they said that interview is what cost him his life, because he was educating people and giving them the knowledge that based on what's released, the music that we're listening to, that can affect us in all different kinds of ways.
Yes, it absolutely can. So when we get down to meditation and chakras, when I'm not saying every night, but the large majority of my evenings, and we spoke a little bit when we was talking about wellness, to get the phones away from our head. What was you saying exactly, Annanake?
Yep. Keep them phones and start charging them phones in another room.
And start charging because of the radio wave.
So how far away is, because if I'm charging my phone on the floor and I'm on the bed, is that far enough? Or I know the further the better, but what would you say if it's across the room?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a professional in EMF, which is electromagnetic frequency. They do have tools that you can measure how far away from the sockets and plugs the energy emanates out. But I'm gonna be like this: if you think it's a bad road to go, keep it on the other side of a door.
Okay. So, Annanake, before I finish what I was going to say, tell us again what that stone was that you said can block the radio waves.
This is what we use, which is I just went out and bought me some more. It's called black tourmaline. Sometimes it's called swirl. It's it looks like a long straight fibers, and it's all bundled together. And it's black. Sometimes it has inclusions which are like clear quartz sticking on it, but usually it's just like a stick of black. If you go to a Botanica or a rock store, all you have to do is ask for black tourmaline. Make sure you say black, because tourmaline comes in different colors. But what it does is it sucks up and rearranges radiation and electromagnetic frequencies. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you have a microwave in your house, that's a good deal. If you have radios, televisions, your laptop or whatever, sprinkle them around gingerly. I sleep with one under my bed because where I sleep at, my heating unit, which is electric, is close to it. It's on the other side of the wall. So I keep one in my bed right now with me under my pillows to kind of deflect that. It's a very shiny, nice looking stone. Some people wear it around their neck. They'll have it caged up in wire, copper wire or whatever, but I really do think that black tourmaline is the thing to go. If you have any questions about it, simply Google up black tourmaline and tag behind it EMF. E is in elephant, M is in monkey, F is in Frank. And see what you pull up. As Ms. D says, research is your key. Do your research. But it does work. There are other stones that are like that. Most of the black stones will suck up negativity of some sort. But black tourmaline is at the top of the list.
So, okay, two things I want to, I'm going to just get them both out really quick, folks. So one thing is, when we leave our guests, I want us to, I guess, if you ladies could share what are some good frequency music, what hertz do you think are best? Because I listen to certain hertz, and so I just want to know what you two ladies think about that. And then also, before we leave, I want to talk about 5G EMF. You ladies heard about how they're introducing 5G, which I'm hearing is not safe at all for us.
It's true. We're going to have to come back on 5G because the black-owned and founded cell phone. Remember I highlighted them, the cell phone company. He has established the 5G before Apple and Samsung. He has 5G coming out prior. So let's get back to that on another show.
Okay, because I'm hearing that it's really dangerous for humans and our environment, birds and bees. I'm hearing that it killed like a whole.
We're gonna have to do some research
and,
on that. On that before we Oh gosh, you said. See, now she can make me get ready to talk about some stuff, but we got to come back on that, and we got to do some research before we touch on that. But what I was going to say, since we get ready to take you to bed and get ready to sign off here, Sister Annanake spoke about the lo-fi, and the lo-fi is, again, very good for children with their anxiety and tapping issues, and I've used it since she told me in the school, and I won't say because we haven't used it abundantly. It completely stopped the tapping, but it reduced the tapping. It really reduced the tapping. Because I usually play jazz music for them or something just where they can hear it, but they can't hear it. And I put on this like lo-fi, and it really reduced the tapping a lot. But when I go to bed, and this is my thing with my phone is usually close to my bed. It's usually under my pillow. I kind of tried to move it away a little bit because I use the alarm on my phone as well in the morning. And when I do a lot of my rituals, I also use binaural beats, because binaural beats has a very high frequency, and it usually has a frequency. I don't know if it's as high as the frequency for dogs when they hear certain things that you cannot hear. But it has a very high frequency, and a lot of times it can take you to another spiritual place in your subconscious mind. So not your conscious mind, but in your subconscious mind, binaural beats are very effective. So depending on what I need, if I just need relaxation, or I'm trying to do a healing, or I'm trying to manifest some money, or whatever the case may be, I'll put on a 3-hour. And YouTube got this funky thing going on now where it stops your video and asks you.
Play a commercial?
No, not the commercial.
Oh, survey?
No, not that either. It'll stop your video and say, "Do you want to continue?" And I'm like, I put it on because the thing disappeared and it's just playing for no reason. But so sometimes if I put on a 3-hour or even an 8-hour binaural beats meditation music, I use binaural beats meditation music. It'll cut off at some point while I'm sleeping, and when I wake up in the morning, it's no longer there. But I will put it on, and I'll go to sleep to that. Like I said, if I need relaxation, or if I want to balance some chakras, or if I want to manifest money, or, if I want to.
What hertz, or what is that? 7?
I prefer.
I think that's 7 hertz.
Well, it can go anywhere from 500 to 800, and I prefer anything that's between 700 and 800 megahertz.
Okay.
That's what I prefer.
700 to 800.
Yeah, that's what I prefer.
That's a form of a binaural beat.
Binaural beats. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you can get them at like 500. I don't want to say what the lowest is because I always look for anything that's 700, 800.
Yeah, I saw 832 was
Yeah.
the one. I had like a whole.
And I'll put that on and let it play while I'm sleeping, and you know, just to put my subconscious mind in a certain state of mind, a certain state of frame, state of mind. Because this doesn't deal with the conscious mind. It deals with the subconscious mind. So you're not going to wake up thinking about, wow, I went to bed listening to binaural beats to balance my heart chakra, you know, and now my heart feels great. I feel loving and I feel kind, and it deals with your subconscious mind to start feeding that energy and to like heal that chakra. And you can do chakras, or you can do intuition. You know, you can do binaural beats that can take you into I only want to, but when we're just dealing with intuition, to heighten your intuition, because we.
Okay, I have something to say about that.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of us like to get on YouTube and experiment with the subliminals and things like that. I'm going to say this: subliminals deal with the very basic part of your mind, the very most powerful part of you. So don't just trust anybody's stuff that's subliminal, because you don't know what their goal is. You don't. I mean, that's like you letting somebody that you don't even know into the most sacred part of your house to play. You know, this, you can't do that. So be careful. You find someone who you know does good subliminals. There are plenty of people who are very proficient at doing subliminals, and you can find them on YouTube. Be very careful. I had a bad experience with it. I had a bad experience with it, to where I was doing a healing one with the tones and stuff and the subliminals. It was really nice. The lady would walk you through the meditation, and then all of a sudden I kind of figured out that she was implanting things into my dreams. And you can tell when it's not your dream. And so I had to do an experiment. I started subtracting things. And when I finally got to her stuff and I subtracted it, I realized that that's what was going on. So everybody is not altruistic on YouTube. So you want to talk to someone. There are quite a few people, you can find them on Facebook as well, that do subliminal. They do the tones. They'll put the tones behind the rain, and because we all love that rain. You know, the raindrops with the thunderstorm. And there's a lot of people out there sleeping to that right now. So I just want you to be careful when you're out there on YouTube and you're dealing with the subliminals and stuff, because there's 1,000 million billion of them out there. And they sound like they're really nice, but you got to be careful, because everybody, remember, the internet is a gigantic social experiment. Don't be a part of it.
And I was going to hit on that just before you popped in, that when you're dealing with the ones that are subliminal, I mean, intuition based, you have to remember that there are major parts of the brain that we don't even use. That's another topic. And how powerful those parts of the brain are, your supernatural parts of the brain. So you have to be very careful on what you're listening to, and don't think that, okay, I'm going to tap into, you know, my crown chakra and your other chakras aren't balanced, because your natural intuition is going to lead you to what's for you. And I say that all the time. And when you're not ready for some stuff, you're just going to screw something up. So I would say still with the very basics. And if you're going to do binaural beats, do something that's strictly for relaxation. You know, you may want to do something for love, but do something that's strictly for relaxation, because you want to just start relaxing yourself so that you can begin the other processes to open yourself up. And it doesn't just deal with those frequencies, because you think about a dog will go off on something that it hears, that it hears that you don't even see or you don't even hear, because of the frequencies are that powerful. So and like Annanake was saying, there are frequencies out there that can cause your brain to explode. You know. Well,
be aware. So moral to the story is be aware of what frequencies you're allowing to enter your spirit, just as well as you're aware of anything else on these airwaves that you allow into your spirit. Awareness is key. Intuition is key.
Yes. And music, mood, and mayhem. Music can make you fall in love. Music can make you feel sorrow. Music can break your heart. Music can hype you up. Music can make you make love, or it can make you fuck. Music
can do all these things.
Music can do all. It can make you go out there and strangle somebody.
So you have to use your
somebody.
powers, as I always say. Y'all know, Lady T, the finesse queen here, and I'm here to say, use your powers because it all starts with you. It's inside of you. So just like you said, intuition. You'll know what feels good to you. You'll know what you're supposed to be listening to. At one point, I was listening to some. I'm glad that this was the topic because I was listening to some frequencies at one point, and one night it didn't feel right to me, so I turned it off. I didn't want to listen because I like to listen to music as I go to sleep, but I didn't want to listen to my Sade Pandora station, and I didn't want to listen to frequencies in my spirit. I just didn't feel it till it. So I said, you know what? Let me just go to sleep in quiet. So it's your intuition. You gotta listen to you.
You gotta see. And I will say this really quick. When my mother passed, my biological mother passed away in 1996. And when we all have heartbreak and issues, we want to listen to music that makes us feel the worst because we feel like that music has the ultimate meaning of what we're going through. And we sit there and we just go through and listen to this song like, and then we get angry and then we listen to a song about how much we hate whatever the situation is, right? So my mother had passed away, and I was just in such a dark place, and I was in my room, and my son at the time was like 10. He was like 10, 11 years old. And I kept playing End of the Road, which I had them play at her funeral. So I had to play End of the Road at the funeral, and I had End of the Road on a CD on repeat. And I'm just laying in the bed, I'm miserable, I'm boo-hooing, and it just keeps playing, and I keep crying. And I keep crying. My son was 10 years old. He came in, he said, Mommy, I'm going to turn this song off because this song makes you cry. And he turned it off and walked out the room. Because he just understood, like, this is not working.
Yeah.
And we tend to put ourselves in that bad place. The reverse of it, in the turning the tide, is to place ourselves in a place of healing, not a place of sorrow. When we have breakups in relationships, when we lose loved ones, we place ourselves in the heartbreak when it comes to music. When we should be reversing that and placing ourselves in a place of healing, in a place of joy and everlasting, not sorrow. That's what I would want to leave you with today. Annanake, what would you like to leave our audience with today?
Well, this is Annanake, AmunRa, and I would like to say music can be a weapon or it can be a tool. Take the music and use it to your benefit. Take the music and use it as a meditational device. When I say meditation, that means put the music on to work towards what you want. Not what's breaking you down, but what you want to build you up. Then you put an action behind it, like dancing. And then you use that to raise the energy with the intent to bring what you want. So if you want to be manifesting a car, I suggest you put on Car Wash, the song, and get your Afro prick and dance. And focus on the car you want. Use the energy the correct way. Don't misuse it. You got a powerful tool. You know it's powerful. Use it to manifest. Use it to meditate. Use it to get what you want.
And you know what? I forgot, and I meant to bring this up a little earlier. And I know it's 11. It's like 11:04, but I have to say this. And you may want to go to this event with me if we can get there this year. In Philly, we have an event called Odunde. Odunde is a Yoruba celebration where you know, you have all your Black-owned and African exhibits and vendors, and it's amazing. But it has to do with celebrating Yoruba culture, Yoruba New Year, and you have the drummers and things there. So this particular year I went, oh my God, it was so amazing. So the drummers are drumming, and they're calling on Shango, and they're just drumming, and they're dancing, and they're drumming, and they're drumming, and they're drumming, and the heavens opened up, and it poured down rain. Nobody moved. Nobody took a step. People started dancing more. When I went that year and I stood there in that rain, when I tell you that was the most purifying and refreshing.
Do you know that same thing happened to me here when I went to the festival here? That's why I'm telling you we have to go. When I went to, because it was a 2-day festival, the first day was Cecilie in the back of her thing, and then the second day was at Cascade Nature Park. And the drummers were out there drumming, and never have I been in the dirt with my feet in the mud with the rain pouring down, dancing to drums. I had never experienced it before.
The most refreshing, because that's what music does to us. I'm telling you, music has been our culture and our life. Why do you think music is in abundance everywhere you go? The world relates to music because it is a frequency. It is our brain waves. It is the energy from the universe to us. It connects everyone. Music connects the world. And if you want to control the world, you're going to control it through music. So now we need to decide how we're going to control our society, how we're going to control our world. And you parents out there, how are you going to let the world control your children, more importantly? So that is us tonight. Annanake, where can they find you? Where can they reach you? Where they can get in touch with you? Annanake.
You can get in touch with me on Instagram, AmunRa, or you can get in touch with me on Facebook, Annanake AmunRa, very easily. Inbox me, DM me, message me.
And Lady T?
Toya M. Nelson on all platforms.
And you have a film coming up?
You can listen to District Queen. Actually, it launched last night. It's a scripted podcast, and you can listen to it on all platforms. It is on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and the first season is on YouTube. But you can listen to the first season and second season just premiered every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on any platform, iTunes, Google, SoundCloud.
And something just flew into me. And this is your girl, Ms. D, the official Ms. D on Instagram, and that's Ms. D with a Z, the official Ms. MZ D. I am everything BInfluenced all over the place on YouTube, on Facebook, on IG, on Tumblr, on Twitter. Some of the BInfluences are just BN, not BI, and there's never an E because it stands for the Black influence. So everything BInfluenced is me and my team, all right, because we all support one another. You can also go to our website, BInfluenced.com, and you'll be able to find all of Annanake's prediction. You'll be able to keep up with Lady T. You'll be able to keep up with Lady Precious. You'll be able to keep up with me. You'll be able to get inserts from my book. On LinkedIn, you can find me at DCFIS. We are all over. So BInfluenced. You find BInfluenced, you're going to find Lady T. You're going to find Annanake. You're going to find Lady Precious. You're going to find our books, our upcoming events, and everything that's going on. This is your girl, Miss D, Lady T, Annanake, and we got Lady Precious. She's been with us on Facebook Live. This is BInfluenced Live. Peace. We are out.